Hi, it's Bill Cohen for Straight Circle Martial Arts, and today we're going to do joint locking while moving. Often we do joint locking, we learn it statically with a partner that's not moving. And that's great because your partner is also not resisting. But things change a lot when they resist. So how many of us were taught like this? Guy grabs, I go like this, I go like this, and he goes down. And we just do this over and over again from a static position where he's not moving. The problem is in real fights people move or they tense. And a lot of people can't adapt to that movement because they only do it from this static point, and the minute things start moving and shifting and pushing, they can't find those little things because they don't know where they are. So today I want to show you one that's more when they tense up. So a lot of times what people do is they'll go like this, and you'll go to grab them, and they'll tense up and they'll go no, right? And I could force this on him if I really wanted to, but it's a lot of work, and he's sitting here like this, and he's going to punch me in the mouth. So why would I want to do that? So what you have to learn to do a lot of times is either you hurt them, right? And that way this goes on much easier. But something else you can do is get them to move. So the reason they can sit here and fight this is because their mind is on this, because they feel threat, and they go, oh my God, and then they hold. But if I move him, he doesn't think about it. If I shift him, or I move him a little bit, and now all of a sudden this gets a lot easier. The reason it does is because when you start throwing people around, often they forget more about this, and more about maintaining their balance because they don't want to fall to the ground. So if you can shift somebody, you see his feet move, see how he's moving around like this? Now all of a sudden that becomes very easy to put on. Now the other thing is, you see as he's bent and he's focused on this? Because he's focused here and he's trying to maintain his balance, this one goes on very easy because he can't see it coming. Joint locks are almost like the element of surprise. If they know they're coming, they don't work. Joint locks, you're going to run into one of two things. You're going to run into someone who's very tight and doesn't allow you to do it. You're going to run into someone who's very slick, and as you grab, he's just going to slip out of it and not allow you to grab it. And that guy's hard to grab because he's always in motion. But if you can move him, shake him, and push him around a little bit, this will get much easier to do. Also, you'll find it'll add right into your hits and your kicks. So the more you can move him, the better off you are. So when you learn static joint locks and you get good at them, the next thing you should do is start learning them in motion. What I mean by that is you want to off-balance this guy. Take him around. And as you start to off-balance him, you start studying, how do I find these joint locks? If I move him this way, how does this come into play? And how do I come into this? If I kick him this way, how does this come this way? You always want to go into positions, right, where you can practice coming into these things while you're moving. And you want him moving. The more I can bump him or shift him or pop him into something, the better this is going to go for me. Always keep him on the move. Play, move, and then eventually what will happen is he'll grab and he'll move me. Right? So as he starts moving, I start catching him in his motion. If he pushes in, right, I'm always trying to find, how do I slide into these things? And go into whatever. So I catch his motion. Oh, look, he started to pull me, right? Oh, good. As he starts moving another way, look, I'm starting to go into something else because I'm just following his motion. So you start off static, and then you start moving him, and then eventually he has to move you. And then, eventually it picks up pace and you go a lot harder. But you have to be careful of that, because the harder it gets, the more you have to put a little juice on it, and if your partner can't move really quick, you're going to hurt them. So be very careful about picking up the speed on this one until you and your partner are capable of doing it. Also, in the movement, don't get lost on it, right? You go to a lock and you feel you don't have it. Sometimes you may have to do something else to convince them to go to that lock. So as he comes in, all of a sudden I feel smothered, I can't get this. Something there, now that opens up, now we're into something else. I'm into here, right? I've lost the lock, I don't have it. I may have to smack him a little bit to go to something else. And use everything. I just hip checked him. You could use your feet, your legs. It doesn't matter. But the more you start banging them around, and the more they are in motion, the easier it is for you to put one on, because it's harder for them to tense up while they're flailing around. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to help this channel grow, please like, subscribe, and share. It helps tremendously.